in the temple of our life, showing us visions of the future. So many faces left to find, down in the caverns of our mind. Need you to follow me deeper. I will do anything just to make you see. Don't apologize for what's in your dreams. Maybe this time will be different. It's only us. It's only us. It's only us tonight.
Hey everyone, welcome back. Welcome to another live stream, bit of a special one. I'm doing it on a Saturday here for a change compared to my normal Thursday streams. But we're into it now. This is just my map, so on my farm. So far, I've done all that half. All this strange coloured land here is going to end up as a forest. So that's my plan with that. And then I've done all on this side over here. All the trees and everything. Map boundaries, all forest, so take a bit. So when you get nice in the map here, it looks like you're pretty much, yeah, pretty good. So that's the area I've done so far. Still got a bit of work I want to do around the sheds and everything like that. And I don't know why, but the water looks pretty strange. So anyway, we'll sneak on over here. So what I'm doing now is I'm going to put a tree line in along here. And so what I've done is actually I've taken a few pictures, screenshots somewhere. I got them on my other screen. But I pretty much worked it all out. So what the pictures are of is the spline editor. So what I've done is got on here is my spline. I have my spline placement, objects to place, which are all these random trees parked here, so I can actually do it. They're the rest of them. But all these trees here are to place. Spline being the straight line I've plucked in here, which is aligned to my Google Earth image. So I click in my spline placement, go into my script editor, click OK to all the warnings because we don't worry about them stuff. And then we go placement, execute fixed distance, that's the one there we want. A quick description of what it is. So objects at distance, so how the distance are all written down the right here, English and in German I'm pretty sure. I don't understand it, the other language I only know English. So what do I do? I think it's about 3.5. I'm happy with the distance between all these trees. There's no object at the start, so we go through and basically fill it out without cap locks, because it comes up with an error if you do that. Don't worry about the distance table, I don't use that. I use the random water. I think, can't remember, but about 300 was the happy number I want there. Random placement, we turn that on because we're 3.5. So this is distance from the center of the spline. So I normally have it about 4 or 5. This is a fairly wide tree line, so I'm going to go 5. Random rotation. Well, that's the position, so you're where it is. So I always set that to true with trees. The rest doesn't matter. And you can have the distance away from the center of the spline there. Yeah, so that's by your random. So how far off it can be. Oh, this is your offset. So you can actually have the spline here and say you want everything onto one side by a couple of meters. And that's what that set distance is. Random scales, you leave all the scales alone. With trees and everything like that, you leave it alone so that when you come to chop it down in game, it works. If you change your scale, height and all that, you can get issues. Always have a line of terrain, so then they always look perfect. At terrain 0, yep, sounds good. I don't understand. Yeah, there you go, no objects at height 0. This will resultant objects outside the map. Okay, so there we go. That's why I have it like that. Yeah, I don't know. I've used it like that, and that's pretty much it. So then I've clicked OK. I've got the positions and everything I want to be on the spline. Bang. There you go. I placed all the trees down. So it's copied all my tree line. So I'm happy with that. Which is pretty good. So when you come along, zoom in, there's a tree line. Pretty good. So the way to fill in the gaps here, what all I do is just what I have been doing. Just come down to my bush setting in my terrain, that one, terrain foliage, to the sides, throw some scrub in underneath. That's pretty much it. So the most of it's been a bit of a repeat, rinse and repeat. Keep it tunking along lovely. And so far I've done all that. The other little trick I like to do is, so what I do is I always have it above the ground, just to know, so it always lands, because I've got to align my terrain, because of the highs and lows. If you have it too low, it will drop, it goes straight to places. So I always tend to put the spine line above it. And so every object that got placed is in this transform group. So the trick here is to keep all this nice and neat. So what I do is highlight it now because I'm happy with it, and then move it into my trees group. So all the trees are in one. And then I set my clip distance on my trees at a very low to calm it all down. Hey Captain, how you going? Thanks for joining the stream. We're playing in Giants Editor. So we're into that point. Still working away on the map. Bit of editor stuff. Playing with a few splines and some scripts and that sort of thing. Which is always good fun. So I've just laid down another tree line. While we got it all going, while we got this all set up, we should just move it. Set another tree line up, because I know this one's got to be along in here. Lift it up out of the way. Okay, so that's there. Bring up my Google image. And turn the visibility on. Now I can see what I'm doing. Hey Sim Gaming. How you going? Thanks for joining in. We're just having a bit of a play in Giants Editor. Okay. That's back there. So that's my Google Maps image. Pretty much that's why you can tell the quality, Australian quality. Oh yeah. Drop it out of the way and put a negative in front. There we go. Fire. Got my spline where I want to be. Yeah, and place it down. So get the spline placement. I got my script editor. Throwing a heap of random numbers in just to keep it all good. Placement distance, we had that. Distance it goes away. Yep, that 5 is pretty good. Save changes, yeah, click OK, that doesn't do much. Done. All sorted. Now I've added some more trees in.
As I wake up every morning, I wish the day would
Yeah,
end.
we'll delete that for the minute. Get it out of my way so I don't see it.
Because a day without you in my life, I don't know how to mend. And I was like,
There you go, now we just fill it all out. So what I do is go on my bush, state 4, because it creates a good filling along here. Randomly place it. Then you can get the look in, and you go, oh yeah, that's the road. Very interesting, very different. But the scrub sizes, I want the trees fairly small as they're everything. So yeah, I'm good. Simulator gaming. Yep, you're all good. So that's good, not bad. How's the volume? Is the music nice and not too loud or anything like that? I don't want it to be too loud. I want to make sure I got it pretty quiet. As long as it's not annoying and everyone can hear me over the top of it, it's pretty good. Let's come back for a bit of a stream, a bit of a chat. While I'm just pretty much spend most of my time just working away, clicking the mouse button. And try not to hit the wrong keys. It's taken a bit to get used to all these lovely controls. I always reckon the best way is the 4 options between your terrain, paint image and deform image and all that should be like 1, 2 and 3, 4 shortcut keys. So then we have, there you go. He's going. I don't think he suits him here. And that one can get deleted as well. There you go. Yep, that looks about where I want it to be. If in doubt, give me half an hour. I'll go drive out there, have a look at it, come back and go, yep, that's where it's got to be. Throw that over there so I can get it all in nicely. Ah. Move some things around, just sorting up, so that's the one I want. Objects to be placed. So this is how I do my fence lines. So what I do is still use the scripts, but I'll create a spline. Move it in there. Bring it here. I get the right button. Okay, so with this fence line, this is actually the boundary. Yeah, grassfield, nah. I've read a few tutorials, and what it has is set up. It says add grass in, then you can just take it out. So then it's all in the strange spots instead of trying to add it in. It says that's probably the easiest way, but each their own. I'm kind of considering maybe I should be just adding the grass in, because it seems a lot of work keep wiping it all out. Grass fields it's all set randomly, so actually what I've done is, so far, in my maps here, is in my fields, is I've set up all the fields. Well, on that side anyway, I've got all these ones to go. But if I go into my scripts, you'll be able to see it if I go toggle render field area, bang. So then, how I've set all them up pretty much perfectly. That one ends up with grass field nearly every other time I start the game. But then that allows the game engine to work out what field's what. So if they plant in, it changes its crop type all the time. So that's the way I've been doing it. Get rid of that. Back to sort out the fence. So back to my story. This fence line here is actually the boundary of my farm. This is the neighbour's field. So my farm goes up there along this tree line I just put in. That's what's a nice wide tree line. And as always, when you're doing a new fence and stuff, what we do is get rid of that tree as well. what we do is this fence, half of it's on his side of the farm, the other half's on our side, my side of the farm. So what I do is I've got to try and kind of remember where that is. Which is, I think it's actually at this gateway. It swaps sides. So I'm going to make a bit of a break in there. It might zigzag a little bit, but I don't know. I got a feeling that's it. So we're going to put it halfway. Lift it up so it's nice and straight so I can see it. And obviously hit that insert button so it can come onto this side. And that's not quite what I wanted. So we might have to do it in a couple of goes. Because I want it straight. Not clipping. The way we got it, so now I've got my objects in there. I'm going to go to my script editor. Strange warning comes up. And then what I do is I've got actually a picture, a screenshot of me doing this beforehand. So that gives me my saved numbers where I set it all. And of course now I'm going to touch this one, it disappears. So what I do is I actually bring it up on my spare screen. So it's covering the chat at the moment, but it gives me the ability of copying it, create the, keeping everything the same. Being the fence, I want it copied, so then all the positions and everything are right. So we gotta set all this up right. Random placement that's turned off, so that one doesn't matter. Random order, turn that one off as well. Because I actually want them all in the right spot. Stay upright, true. 4.18 is the size. 1 point. There we go. And everything is right in the spot. So with the position of it all, make sure that's selected. And that's placed down each post. I've used single ones. It's probably not best for the lag and everything like that, but it's allowed pretty much to follow the terrain. So you see all the height changes, nice and level. Looks pretty good. So what we do is we put it on this side. We use the spline to keep it straight for us. Because you've got to have a straight fence, otherwise it's weird. Got to have a gap in the trees for the fence. Collapse all so it gets it out of the way. Spline placement. Because we don't want to really lose it all, what I'd normally do is pretty much just move them all out of this transform group. So if I make a little mistake, it's not an issue. I can just delete the objects that were placed. Whoops. I kind of dropped that in the wrong spot. And now it's frozen up for a minute. Oh, bye. Hope you enjoyed it. Yep. Look on the bright side. No matter what I'm playing, I can always get it to crash. So when you think you've done a little achievement, you get to do it again. So that's great fun. Yay. And I thought I had it all in control. Rinse, repeat, do it again. Doing it once isn't enough, we'll do it twice in the same spot. At least I'm not having to place them all individually, I'm just using the other ones to do it. Throw some random numbers in. Threes there, sounds good. Bit of some more true. Some more random stuff. Pretty sure that was it. Random Y, cause yep. Random scale, label that false. Bang, drop the tray line in. When you think we got it all under control, we do it again. Place that up there in the center. Wrong one, get rid of the sign, Google image, drop it out of the way so none of the trees are in the air. And here we go with, it's all done. Easy because this was before, so copy it again, done. Heaps of trees, just out of stew crazy, we'll save it. Need to save more often than I do. Didn't take so long. So how's everyone's day going? Hopefully we're all enjoying the day. Hopefully everyone's been quite lovely. For me it's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, so I'm just starting to relax for the afternoon. Get back into it. So what I've been doing is all those contour banks and all these tree lines in here. Finishing this half of the map off. Place that up there again. At least with the crazy random, it's already changed. Move everything out of the way again. Could say it's like deja vu. Move that into my objects. Down to more manageable height. Bring this one up, make it level. Check my work. Closer so we're not sitting on the trees, but nice and close so the tree line looks nice. Ah. Yeah, now we enter all the strange numbers again. I wish I did save it and had this script like copied a couple of times. Would make it easy. Type it all in, no object, yep, stay upright, true. It's false. Random order, we don't want that, so that's false. So that doesn't matter. Random place, it's false. Otherwise, they'll be everywhere. Same in the rotation. And then we can put it like negative or positive to one side. So if you did, say, a track, you can go with your paint train, and then you can put to one side of it the fence. So with this spline, I could set it here, then to one side, so it went -5. Put the fence up it. That's how the kill works. It didn't work because I'm not in the right spot. Gotta make sure it's split placement's highlighted when you click OK. Done. So sorry if the quality's not the best this time. I think we do have a bit of a storm coming over at the moment, which is, of course, affects the satellite internet. So that can be a bit of a hiccup. Save. We're back to where we started. Pretty sure it's in my map buildings. Nope. Water, wildlife, trees. I don't know where all the other farms ended up. We've obviously... everything's been moved. That's it there. Well, that's moved. That's not where it should be. That'd be why I can't find it. So we'll move that away because that's my save group. So all my fences now get thrown into that one. This is also then I don't know whether it works, I might need it in different ones, but I can change my clip distance easy depending on how my load is. So you got quite a few fences there, so as well you can tell my clip distance is pretty low on that transform group. So you can set it to whatever you want. These are all set at 300, so within 300 meters. Won't do it till then. This helps with lag and loading time. It's a new position. Change that. I think you got to put it about there. Bring this in and too bad I can't cycle through the trees easy. But we'll move this one. Put a random tree in a different position. It's all about sitting around and just making sure you've got everything right, happy with it all. So now that's all sorted, it's quite easy to just hit my editor again, execute that, save no, yes, cancel all the same. And look at that, we've got it all sorted. The only issue is now, wow, how do we get that so wrong? Yep, not expecting that. So, because of the way we are, simple, we can just highlight these three. Fine, we'll just do page down. Now they're both on the ground. Try again. This is why I always try to keep moving the fences and stuff away. They're not just sitting in the same transform group the whole time, because then you can copy it over and do things like that. What I want to do now is duplicate that, so Control D, throw in another one in, drop the post in here like so, and then obviously highlight it open, some more wires, delete that, my fence panel, delete that, but that also gives me the posts in the position to finish off the fence. So now that's in that group. Now it's saved. We move it into my fences other transform group for save That's all saved for later. Surprisingly, it did not produce one at the start. So let's find that one again. Control D, duplicate it, move it along to where I want it to be. Bring that up out of the way. And this one, I'm going to take to the edge of the map. So as you can tell by my click distance, the trees disappeared to help the loading. It's more for in-game effort. So as we found before, we want to get it pretty level. Too bad I can't set the heights correctly. There. That was the first time I've ever really had it on crooked. But now everything's in the right spot, so we just copy that again. Because it should always be upright. And there's our tree. There's our fence set. So that's all sorted. Finish it off to get rid of the spline. Finish with it, could always add another one later. That's a bit different. Different. So what we might do is put it there, duplicate it, move one back to that post. Get it in the right spot. Tell I don't need the wood. I need the wood panel. That one. I don't need those. You can tell by the panels in the, so we can scale this one down a little bit. Same with this one. Bring the scale of that one in as well. A lot of just trying to get it all right. And the whole fence looks nice. Like so. This end off, we'll leave that end later. So that's how the fence goes. Couple of them. I think that one can go over there for the time being. Save them so we can put it away, out of the way. So, for a second we'll just save it just to make sure we don't have any more crashing today. And give it a second for it to load. go. So this is of Espacio. That's the map where I got those textures from. I haven't really, all I did was to add them into it, so that's my new gravel texture. So all I have to do is bring up gravel. I'm going to set this as square 4, like so. Try and get everything painted in the right spot. I'm going to go back to circle for a second. Down. Try and get these edges nice. Obviously I want to get rid of the grass here. But I want it all placed in there so that can be all nice and green and everything. You just got to change in there, which is texture layer, grass rough. Now we're starting to get a bit more where I want to be. Make this into a bit more of a highlight when I get the right buttons on the keyboard. I find it easy using because surprisingly WSAD doesn't move forward and backwards. When you're like this, it goes in and out. So we just pretty much run this along that tree line. So my track ends up beautifully. This is where I would like it 1, 2, 3 and 4. So all I have to do is go like this and I can pull the grass off. Try and paint it perfectly, but one stage is me trying to get it perfect also ends up as a very good quality random setup. Never really seem to get it right because it just ends up being random. Because I'm trying to be so nice and quality, but it just ends up all over the place. It's typical. Try and be perfect and I always tend to stuff that up. Pretty much just focus away. This is pretty much what it controls on map building, sitting around placing things. It's not as intense or complicated as it's literally just hours on the job, hours working it out. So I do find it a lot quicker to cultivate a field and stuff when you're doing this. I'm just going to stop the road about here, just trying to get up to this last field. Really what this is for is just to give you that track in. I'm putting it as gravel. All the other ones are set as track, but I think this one needs to be a gravel one, being it can come up to a couple of fields, and I might throw in a building up here to really change it all up. Pretty much just adding things to the game, to the map. All sort of ideas at the moment, but go. As you can tell, I've sort of added things in the wrong spot. So I'll move that out of the way just so get a bit better visual of it all. And sometimes actually trying to get a perfect square is harder than you realise. I think we're almost actually where we need to be. Get the good music in now. Now we can add my crane detail in. Go a bit round because round's easy. Just as long as it's smooth, I'm happy with it. So I got told, yeah, this is probably the best way of doing it, but I'm not sure because then you could just go grass and take it away, so then you're not trying to put grass in, say this little strip just here to fill it all out. Just drag it away. But it's, I don't know. So each to their own. This is sort of just how one of those tutorials gave me the how-to guide. End up putting terrain detail in this one. So I'm thinking we might go for a play after this. I'll finish this field off. And then what we can do is actually go and purchase that field then and do some different work into it or something, and load up Giants, load up that farming simulator and give it a go. Oh, hear the dog barking. Don't know what he's barking at. Probably just the rain. Or the wind blowing or something outside. Or the wildlife hopping past, because we have a bit of that around here. This is where, I'll get in a better camera angle. Give it a roll in the corner, make it all nice and smooth. And I forgot a bit, didn't I? There's a green patch there. Get rid of that. See how good the computer loads. Laggy effort. What you end up having to do is, so it pretty much started as cover the whole map in grass, just to make that strip easy. But it involves all this work of clearing it out. So you can just keep going out to wherever you want to be. Dial, so it's not too much of an issue. This is pretty much how I spend most of the free time at the moment recently, is working away on a map. bounces off. For me, just trying to get the smoothness gives that random of non-straight edge, like it gives you the random where the grass is and the grass doesn't grow. So one way you think about it is it adds that realistic approach because nothing is straight. Like, no matter how hard you try and how much effort you put into it, it just ends up so robotic, so consistent, so perfectionist. Like you see, the textures are just constant, just repeated. In real life, they're not like that. So to create that realistic approach, a bit of me is just, well, pretty much noob luck, dumb luck, trying to be perfect, but just kind of not having a smooth hand is the best way I got to explain it. Keep moving around too much and that's there. Easy. And of course what we're going to do is create a bit of a track in here. The only way I know how to do that is bring up rough dirt. We actually wanted it just about 3.5 radius. Where we want it to be. That one, and then an entrance. I've got two at that end, so I'm thinking I might only put one down this end. Create that random effort. So we actually seed up to the track in real life. This is just to create that barrier difference, a bit of extra look to it. I did try and putting this right to the field and it didn't look right. So you could set this gap here wider. That's what it's there for in a normal game, is actually for your workers to turn around and everything on. So you're not, the worker's not trying to turn around against a tree here or anything like that. But realistic approach, it's getting hard to reach out. It's never like that in real life. Haven't seen you in seasons, but all I hear is your voice. There we go. I actually made a little mistake there I'm not happy with, so move it like that. And I've been counting minutes for quite some time now, just to see you again. There you go. Bit of an entrance to the field. Obviously I've got all this one to go. So the way this one works is that we actually go into here. That fence is there, but I'm going to put a gate in here. So we have a three-way gate with our neighbour, which is pretty good. So what we want is my rough dirt. Put that radius to where I want it to be. Draw it out to where I want it to go. We got millions of reasons. Easiest way would be continue that fence down here, put it into a gate, hopefully, then the fence into the bush, and this one has similar effort, or you can just finish it about there. But you could just run that up to a bit of a zigzag, so the gate's there, the gate here, and that will probably look alright in game. tell it doesn't look quite right being right next to the fence here. So what I do is just take a bit off. Keep my nice steady straight hand that makes it all random. Like so. Because of it, I'm going to paint a bit more into this corner here. Oh, wrong button. Bring my grass up. So what I did is actually green a big grass. Create that effect down the edge there. Back along the edge, make it all nice and neat. There we go. I'm happy with that. Let's throw some bushes in. Nothing's completely without a few scrubs to fill in a few roads. That also helps fill it all out, so all your effort along in here, you can throw some of these bushes in here. Like I said, you don't want it too consistent, don't want to just sit there and paint it all, otherwise it'll be very robotic look. My effort is try and do it perfect, but I'm not very good at it, so it stuffs it up. Where I've managed to get it perfect, I look at it and cleaned it out and went, nah, just turn back to that. Less stressing, just on a bit of a random effort. What you could do is change the state of it so it's a bit smaller, and that helps as well to clear it all up and everything like that. So you change the states so then you're not just one size, you can go big, small. Yep, don't know what that warning's for. So what we can do is... Oh, we're hitting the button. So we can go down to like a state 2 or state 3 where it's just that little bit smaller, so. And then just to be a bit more out there, we can go into, when I find it, deco foliage. You've got a few different ones in here, so you can actually go along and throw some flowers in. As long as you... And then all of a sudden it looks very filled out. I do like this one, I think it is. Yeah. You can throw them in some random places. Gotta keep it random. Otherwise it's just too consistent, too robotic. And after a while you feel like, yeah, you just, I know it's repetitive and everything, and a lot of people do just drive past it all and don't really take note of that on the maps and everything. Because they're all worrying about driving their tractor and all the shiny stuff in front of it, but having that detail in the background, you know, like having a better sky does help instead of, so that's where, you know, everyone's a complaint. The main one is, why not have, you know, the skies like in FS17, you know, they're just such a better images, more detail, and it really just to also make it less consistency. So if you get the same thing over and over again, it's very repetitive. Well, one last little bit. So you can tell when I've filled it out too much, it just, yeah, it's not quite right. But like I said, the one way of doing it is just throw some smaller ones in. And we've made a little mistake in here with our terrain detail. I don't want to be crop growing or weeds growing under the trees. Now I've got my tree line in though, I can line it all up pretty close, nice and perfect. Wherever I end up. I haven't decided in here yet. I have a couple of good ideas what I want to do, but time will tell. So that is what we've created. This time is this edge, the road, and all that. Oh, I made a little mistake in there again. I'll finish off what I started. What I want to do is, step with playing with things, is save it first before we start. While that loads, my plan is to make a bit of a bank in here. So I'm going to make a bit of a mound, a bit of a drain, smoothing it out so you can still drive over it, but it all comes in nicely. So we need a drain. I want to bring it all in like so. We could actually make it a bit more aggressive. There we go. All we do is just smoothen it off a bit. You look at it. You got that bit of a bump in here just so when the water comes through you know that it's going to run down the hill. Give me what I want. There you go. Really want this to be built up so it all flows in there nicely. There we go. So that nice little bump you're going to slow down, no one's going to notice about. Easiest way would be if this is painted something else. So what we can do is go into a puddle here. Just put a bit of a puddle line through it. Like so. And then what I've been doing is just to try and change it up, add a bit of detail into it. I don't know whether I got the right one or not, but it does look alright. I think it does anyway. So a bit of that there, like so. Take a bit of that grass off. Like so. And to create the spontaneously, what you can do is just, what I've done is actually, because I know it does grow up here in real life, is throw some scrubs on the top. There we go, we know. Done. I'm happy with that. So let's save it, and let's load up, throw this into the mod folder. Shortcut it in here, so it's alright. While that's saving, close that editor down. Wait for it to respond. Whoops. Go away. Go away. Close, save, sweet. Oh. Bring my folder. Copy that into my mods folder. Obviously I want to replace everything, so that's easy. We'll load it up FS19 and give it a run. So let's have a look how this is all going to go. I don't quite have my wheel with me. Oh, I've worked the setup correctly at the moment. Obviously I'm on the keyboard, so start a new save, new farmer. Go to my map. Deselect all. Oh, there's one mod I want to go with. We'll bring on, hold on, 2 mods. And I'll find it. I want to throw my collisions on because that's just annoying, so I can't run without that. It affects the camera too much. Don't need to follow me. The only one I want to run is when I find it. It's my sprayer, which I have in real life. There it is. John Deere 4045. Let's go and fertilise a couple of fields. A bit over an hour streaming now, so this is going along. Thanks to everyone for coming and watching. Thanks for everyone joining. Load this up. Here you go. So as you can tell, I actually got my Google Maps image in there. And this is the starting point. All this stuff is going to be in the blender and change it. Hey Gamer Alex, thanks for watching. Thanks for having a chat as well. This is, yep, the farm. Good quality kangaroo here I've been trying to sort out. Lots of tests and edits in there. So I've set up so as you can tell, every field grows into something different, which is good. The way I've set it all up. And yeah, I don't know why, but I'm going to neaten all this up. I'm going to change it all later. And I'm stuck into a tree. Yeah, but this field ends up as grass field all the time. But as you can tell, the cultivated bits are through the grass, which is yeah, I think I've just downloaded that Toyota Land Cruiser mod. I haven't yet tested it, so I'm not keen on running it just yet till I test it. Hey Milton, we're in the map, we're in Farming Simulator, we're playing away. So first things first, as you can tell, I've set most of the fields up, except for that one. And these all run as they are. What we've done is this one here, but I'm gonna purchase, might as well purchase this one. No, this one, which I don't have any money. Well, I've never got this working right. Pretty sure, what do we gotta do? Let me just keep typing numbers and see command's not working. Oh, I can't do it. Oh, hold on. Let's sell it. Bye. Okay. That's one way of getting some money, isn't it? Can we buy that yet? Yes, we can buy it. That's the only field I want to do. That's the largest field on the map. So let's set the price pretty reasonable. You want to spend a couple $100 grand on some big land. I don't want to have it too expensive because then you're going to spend a lot of money on your equipment. And of course we're going to have this one. Yeah. Start by 6,000. Ooh. Strange tracks. Yeah, standard. Too bad they don't give me Michelins. So buy that. Not enough money. Oh, at least it is. I want my sprayer. Back for it. What do we got down to now? $7 grand. We better buy some fertilizer. Oh, there we go. Tab across, and it's stuck in between it. Got a feeling I didn't quite get it. This isn't working. Whoops. Ah, well. Can we lease it? Nope, don't even have enough money. Sell it. I need that money. Give it back. And I need this one. That's what I need. Oh, it's all good. We've sold the house and everything. Fill that up. The worst, I like the mod. The mod is awesome. I do highly enjoy it, as I have one in real life, so this is what I drive on this farm, so I highly recommend getting this mod. The only bit I don't like about it is the booms. There's no collision point on it, so when I drive along the fence and hit the fence, it just drives straight through it. For someone like me that goes, oh yeah, we need to work it all, you know, get what we need. I wonder if there's options. I didn't even look to see if there's options. There's none. Better buy another one. So yeah, the collision, so I like hitting the fences and stopping the boom spray, so then I have to be more, try to be more precise on my driving, which is a bit different, but anyway, let's go. So first things first, I'm going to drop into where we've been working on, drive at the tree line, obviously drive at the road which we've been on. So I'm going to sort all this out. Got a couple ideas on what I want to do here. I want to set all this on the right side up to like a city setup, so you come down to the coast, come down to the city where all the boats are. The left side is going to be like go into a bit of a forest setup, so you're not going to notice, and then obviously try and make this track a bit more of a wind up the hill. I've only really just set it up to be where it is. Right in front of me is some I'm basically going to set up as a pine plantation for people that want to do forestry. It is a forest in real life, but it's mainly like little scrub trees like what's along the edge of the road now. So I'm going to set it up for the people that like to do logging and everything like that. As you can tell, we've got, you know, those little plants have talked in, the bushes have come up nicely. See, that one's growing into his grass field as well. So there's all sorts of random by me setting it to be the game editor as where the fields are and everything. This is a little bank. Pretty good. Not too much of a bad effort really. And then this is our little track and everything we've made along. Zigzag up here. There's a nice little edge along the fields. And here's all those lovely flowers we put in with this random weeds. Walk through and squish them. So that's so far, that's what we did today. The rest is obviously everything else I've added into, but I reckon we'll go for a duck up to the other side so I can go and fertilise this other field. I think it requires fertilising. Hopefully it does. Needs lime. Needs fertilising. What's actually in it? Big soybean field. Ooh. That's a bit of money right there. So we'll go and spray this out, then we'll come back afterwards. How long have I been out? Just over an hour, so gotta keep track of time. Shouldn't take us too long. Well, either one will empty out the tank or we'll finish the field. But this is the biggest field on the map that we're going to now. In game it says it's 32 hectares. In real life it's closer to like 200. So that's how much I've scaled the map down. But it gives you more precise to the size of the machines you got and everything. So 200 hectares for me at spraying at this speed or driving along takes about the same time. Otherwise we'll spend all day driving across them. We need to add in a bit more along the road edge here just to finish it all off. I'm thinking of maybe adding some drains in or something like that to really diverse it up a bit. And then obviously you got where we've completed to where we haven't completed. So there's a lot more work needs to be done. So it's gone from one. So that's how long it's taken so far to go from one end of the map to the other. So it's not too bad in a straight line. This one is pretty good. I've got a bit more little work I want to do in this field. Add a few more details and models and stuff. So I've got to do quite a bit of work on Blender and try and make in some models to really finish the map off. But I'm pretty much sort of just sending out so I get an idea of the sizing of everything like that. Okay. Oh, perfect size as well to be spraying it. So we'll unfold. So you can tell from here like the field's pretty big. It goes from the tall trees into the middle over there, around the group of trees there. So we'll do a nice little lap. I want to bring it down. There we go. Might as well sleet spray the first lap. So with the size of this field, I've kept it kind of big, just so for people that do multiplayer and everything like that, it gives you the ability. So if you sat in here and you could have 3 combines going and still get the feel of the big Australian fields. Also with a few of the other ones nice and smaller. So as you can tell to the left here, that's sort of the map boundary. I finished it all up. I'm pretty happy with it all. It's coming along pretty nicely. So. Yeah, some of them. So I've set it all up so you can get all sorts of let the game work out what crops in or anything like that. I'm trying to be more as to what it is in real life as possible. So you got fences everywhere, tree lines. I actually have not been around this field in game, so a bit of it is just in testing to make sure I don't have any clipping or anything like that, like the field doesn't go through the fence line or anything like that. And you get to set it all up pretty nicely. So as you can tell, that you spend a whole in-game day here spraying. You get the times set right. Yeah, so one of the other ones from the house, past that trees, all the way to the north side there is a power line. Hey Waffle Slime, thanks for coming over to watch. We've done a bit of editing, we've made a few modifications to it, now we're just taking the spray rig for a drive across the map. Still got the boom quite high, and nice and low, so we don't get any wind drift or any chemical drift. That we're only doing liquid fertilizer. So I'm going to put a windmill in there because that's where it ends up. There's a bore there. So we've got to set up with a few things left to come with it all. Tree line randomly placed, so I've got a bit of scrub I want to put along that tree line. And that one's pretty normally open, so it's not too bad. Obviously I haven't done any gates yet, I'm going to be setting all them up later. I want to make my own sort of wire gate setup. So I've got to, like I said, I've got probably a lot of work to do in Blender here to get it all right. That year we started, isn't it? Yep. It's not too bad, we did a full lap. So yeah, we actually, in real life I do spray about 34k an hour, 35k an hour in a boot spray exactly like this pretty much, so it's not kind of unrealistic. Hey Lancy boy, thanks for dropping in on your lunch break. Yeah, we're in the map. We're on the biggest field. Biggest one the map has to offer. Everything else is smaller than this and it definitely takes a bit to get around. So we're just having a bit of a play and fertilising some soybeans. Also giving it all a test to make sure I don't have any errors or can crash it or anything. But yeah. Coming through nicely. It's a bit of a bump there. Probably need to smoothen that out a bit. So I'm playing with the keyboard because I don't have my wheels set up. Because obviously in that Giants editor I don't need a wheel and joystick for playing. Yeah, I actually think this bump is here. Maybe that almost looks like a square hole, that might not be there. Thought we'd go up a hill. So yeah, I'm going to have to look into that. I know this is one of the lowest points on the farm. Well, this is actually the neighbour's paddock, but I know this is the lowest point of the farm, being as this is where the water runs down to, and there's a down near the edge of those trees, there's a tank and a natural spring there we can get the water out of. So I'm going to set all that up so I can have it all set up for people to pick up water to feed their sheep and everything like that. Yeah, we set up the red. I haven't quite got to where I want to be because I probably should add the red puddle in, and I want to put that along the edge, like make a drain along the edge of the roads to really build like more of a natural road camber. So come down to the centre and it drains along the edge, and then put the wet puddle look along the edge. Don't know why, because it doesn't rain that much here, but it gives you that texture to break it up a bit. Otherwise, to try and create a bit more of a detail and texture, shape to the roads, instead of the roads being pretty much flat and repetitive, and just, yeah, you can tell they're not right. So yep, you can tell I haven't got that right, so I've got to move those trees. Notes to add into future. All this is a thick bush land, so I want to fill all that in. And like I said, the worst bit about this boom is there's no collisions. Normally you'd be hung up on it, but that's all in the sprayer. I'm not sure whether I could make it as a setup for. I think it's more just a way I've got to modify the terrain and add a few different textures. I was thinking of adding the wet ground side out of La Patio, and pretty much we jump out. We do that when we're driving along, yeah. But see, I was thinking of seeing how it's so flat and perfect and just looks very boring. Thinking of building up the centre here, lowering down the edges into the drain and making like a table drain on both sides, and adding a bit of a water texture along the edge. And that will give you a normal camber road, so it's like driving down the normal road. And obviously fill all this in. This is like, yeah, not happy with that, but I'll get there in a minute. So that's sort of what I'm trying to, might do that, so that'll take a bit of time to go along and adding some drains, but hopefully if I get it right I'll add it onto the script, your terrain editor script, so I can place some splines down along the edge and do it all in a nice easy go. To really give the roads a better shape and texture, and more of a shape, which will also make it a bit different. Because either that or I've got to make a road to place on there for everyone to drive on. Oh, we're almost empty. A big Australian field, isn't it? You've got to have the bigger, gives the big equipment something to use, isn't it? You think 36 metres at spraying at 35 k's an hour, but it still takes its time. And so far we've been here for what, 1-2 game days, game hours. In real life it probably would take 3 hours to spray this field. Like I said, in real life this is probably 200 hectare field. So it really does need the big equipment, and we do go pretty quick. Yeah, normally a couple of loads in it, but that's come along beautifully. So yeah, you get your nurse tank truck out, so you set your truck up with your chemical on it, or your spray on it. You run that out in here, so you tow that out and behind the truck or something, on a ute. So what nurse tank is, or nurse trucker is, it's pretty much just a truck. And you can mix all the chemical out, so you have a hired help going in through spraying the field or something, or whatever, and you go back to the sheds, fill the truck up, bring the truck to the boom display here, and you see the fast fuel on the front left of the boom there. And that fast fuel just pumps it in, so you drive that up to your nurse tank. Big pump just pushes it in, so you can throw 6,000 litres in without having to fold up or anything like that. It's pretty much like an auger wagon works in real life for spraying, so then your boom spray can be spraying going, you're not wasting time in travelling to and from the chemical tank. That is doing jobs like this is where it needs to be. Yeah, pretty much empty. I actually got a bit done. Hopefully we can finish this last run. We're going to make it to the end. It's going to be close. Just see. Are we? Oh, that is close. Wow, that is close. You see that? We're not even just a metre off finishing that run. That's close. I did not expect that. Oh, and then obviously you can tell we're coming to our fertiliser state. How much we got done behind this little strip. You got probably not far off half the paddock. So yeah, it's all not too far off the line and up with the trees or anything like that, so that I'm happy with that. These other ones are pretty fertilised up good. So this field, as you can tell by the layout of it all, yeah, this one is not actually ours, it's a neighbour's that lives up north, so that's where this road goes to. That's why the gates for them aren't exact pointing towards where the main yards are or anything like that. So that's why it takes a little bit to drive up to them, but could always add a, did think I could always add a gate down the bottom corner here or something to make it more shorter, but we do a lot of on-road travelling in real life, so probably more realistic this way. Gotta give it a, gotta set it all up to copy correctly. So we did all that other side. This is sort of the side I did before. This is another one I've got to work on and had a road up here, so this is all not set correctly. All the terrain is set from real life. Proper real life DEM I've got set up. So the heights are correct. A few extra little details in. That contour bank does line, or that bank does line up with another one on this side. follow that in. Whoops, missed a corner. A little zigzag. I just got to add some fences in here and start working on the northern side of it all. A bit more up here. So far, this is sort of what we did today. I finished off the last 2 fields, and what I've been working on earlier was just in here. It gives you an idea of where everything is. And that does behave very, very well. If you're not, so we can follow on the map and you can see that there's a tree position. So where we are, you got your tree line this and there. We've zipped around this corner here, sort of where we went. So following the real life map, get an idea of actually I'm not too far off exact and correct where everything is, which I'm very, very happy with. Smoothen that terrain out a little bit. Okay, that's what I gotta do. Yep. Worked out all these extra bits I work on. That's the whole point of testing it and playing the game and getting an idea and a feel of it all. Okay, there's our field we worked on and cleaned up and did everything earlier on. So what I can say from that is thanks everyone for watching. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. Catch you all next time. Bye.